Hi everybody, thanks for checking in again. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the mortgage process and how getting started with a mortgage professional early in your home buying scenario is going to be something that's very beneficial to you. From a real estate agent's perspective, starting with a mortgage professional early is, it helps you get a good picture of your financial situation, which allows you to know the price range that you're looking in. And it also helps the sellers of properties know that you've already done your homework. So that's basically from my perspective, but I wanted to hear it from a mortgage professional. One of the things, I'm actually here with Manny. He's from Absolute Home Mortgage. So welcome, Manny.
Thanks for having me, Lance. Good to be here.
One of the things that I hear from buyers is that they don't want to talk to a mortgage professional early on because they really want to get a house. They're not looking for a mortgage. They're excited about buying a house, and they're afraid that there's going to be some obligations or costs involved with getting involved with a mortgage professional early. And what would you say to somebody who has that kind of misconception about working with somebody like yourself early on?
Yeah, you're right. Lance, nobody wants a mortgage. Everybody wants a house, and that's fair enough. And sometimes it's a little intimidating for the buyers. They get a little concerned. They think it's, going to be costly, or, they're just not certain that they want to be invaded at that point. I don't charge any application fee. I don't charge any credit report fee. So there's no obligation, to work with me. There's no any upfront fees, as I mentioned. So it's a pretty, simple process. It's consultative. It's to help you make sure that when you're going out and taking these buyers out, that they're going to be able to be successful in buying a home with you.
Yes, and that's the actual goal, to be successful in buying a home. Another thing that I hear from people is that they're afraid that their credit score is going to get fouled up if they talk with somebody early on. And can you explain a little bit about how that part of the process would work?
Yeah, and that's actually a lot of times that I get that question. There's many times that I get that question. It's a misconception, really, in having your credit pulled is not going to automatically lower your credit score. It's the issue is if you're going around and having your credit pulled by multiple places, whether you're doing it for furniture, a credit card, and then you're going with your mortgage company and another mortgage company and a bank and this and that. If you're doing it too many times in a short period, and a short period, what's that define? 30 days? That's what I would say. You're going to wind up dinging your credit score. If you haven't had your credit pulled in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, most people haven't had their credit pulled in quite a long time.
Right.
Okay. When I look at a credit report, it's rare that there's many inquiries, and when I see that, because I can see that on a credit report, when I see it, I advise people actually of, hey, look, settle down, be a little careful. But it's not something of great concern, if any. In most situations, having your credit pulled, it's actually what you need to do to obtain a mortgage. Okay, there's not an option, right? You have to and unfortunately, it's part of the process, good, bad, or indifferent. But it's not all that. It's not going to harm your score unless you start doing it rapidly. Okay, and most people again don't do that.
Right. And another thing that we've actually had are scenarios where, because the buyer worked with both of us early on in the process, they were able to, because of the consultation you had with them, you were able to help them change a few things in their financial picture that helped them either get a lower rate or be able to afford more of a home. Even if their financial picture was looking good to begin with, they were still able to improve it. So
absolutely.
Shed a little bit of light on that.
So there's tiers for your credit. Your score is 720, 700, 699. Let's say. Well, let's say it's a 699. Getting you to that extra tier to a 700, it's 1 point. Okay, but there are many tricks of the trade with credit. So a lot of times I tell people credit's a little bit of a game. It's how's your debt structured. Different things of that nature that are a little long-winded to get in for this purpose, but the gist of it is I know those tricks of the trade, okay? I'm gonna look at your credit, give you a consultative advice on this. I'm gonna make sure that, you know, this buyer is gonna be in position to not only get a mortgage, but get the best mortgage that they have available to them. Get the lowest rate, get the lowest costs, and maybe even get a little bit more house, open up their price range for you to make it a little easier. Not so you can have them spend more money, but so they can open up their range if they need to be in that situation.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you right now, it helps because these little bits, these little tricks are able to be accomplished pretty easily.
Yeah.
And I'm 16 years in the business, as you probably heard me say before on some of our videos together, but it's a long time. It's a lot of experience. I've seen a lot of reports, and credit reports, that is, and I know how to help people with it. If given the time, that's why, you know, I think it's important for you as an agent to have them come early, but it's important for you as the buyer to come early. Not so you can get invaded with your financial stuff, but it's so you can be the best prepared to get the best mortgage, because it's the biggest, you know, decision in your life. It's the biggest investment of your life. You know, most times in any person's life, it's the biggest. So, yeah, every dollar counts.
Exactly. So yeah, that's a little bit about why it's very important and beneficial to you as a buyer to get that process, get the ball rolling with a mortgage early, in addition to looking at houses. And that's the other important part about it is that you can do both at the same time. You can still look at houses and get the mortgage started in conjunction with each other. So that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for coming and
thanks for
explaining a little bit about the process. And it was a pleasure working with you. How can anybody who's watching this, how can they find out a little bit more about you?
I'll give you my cell phone. It's 908-334-7182. You can call me or text me on that. I think you'll put my email up there. It's a little much to read it out, but I'm very easily accessible, so reach out anytime. I'm happy to help.
All right. Well, thanks Manny.
Yeah, thanks
everybody for watching, and click subscribe so that you can stay tuned for more future videos.